The three kings. When you're doing your on-site optimization, there's certain placeholders on your site that are more impactful than others when you place keywords in them. In order, they're the URL, the SEO title tag, your page title, then your subheadings, and then your content. But when it comes down to it, these top three right here, the URL, the SEO title tag, and the page title, these are the real big hitters. These basically define what the page is about. And you really need to get this right. We can also use this to our advantage when we're trying to diagnose topic duplication in the next video, but for now, just understand that these are your most important places to put keywords, so these are the most critical places for optimization. We call these the three kings. Step one for optimizing your three kings is you need to get your keyword research list for a given page. Now we've already done the keyword research before, so for this example, we're going to use a DIY vitamin C serum page, and here's a whole list of keywords that we've researched already and pulled up for this DIY vitamin C serum or homemade vitamin C serum page. Now we move on to URL optimization. Now there's a few rules involved with this. Well, number one, it's quite obvious. The home page doesn't require optimization of the URL because you couldn't change it if you wanted to. So this only really applies to your sub pages, right? Well, here's rule number one. Be short and sweet. Have a maximum of 3 to 4 words in the slug. The slug is basically just what's ever past the first forward slash. So for example, diggitymarketing.com/PBN guide, if I had one, for example. Okay, so here's a good example. If you had a site called toefixers.com/zetaclear-review. So these are 2 words in the slug, each separated by a dash. That's fine. Here'd be a bad example. toefixers.com/full-zetaclear-honest-review-2017. Now beware, when you write a new page or post, WordPress is going to try to name it like this. It's just going to copy whatever you wrote in the name of the page of the post and make it a full long URL. So go in there and basically reduce it. Now what do you reduce it to? The second thing you're going to want to do is don't repeat words. Now example of this is like we could go toefixers.com/zetaclear-review. That's fine. No words are repeated in this URL. But a bad example would be zetaclearpros.com/zetaclear-review. Now the issue with this is, well, first off, this isn't going to get you into an over-optimization problem by all means. Double counting a word in the URL isn't considered spamming or keyword stuffing at all. But we have to understand that optimization is both a function of on-site SEO and off-site SEO. If you highly optimize a place like one of the three kings, such as URL optimization right here, and we double count the word Zetaclear, this just gives us less wiggle room to send links with anchor text with Zetaclear on them before we hit over optimization thresholds. And this is where we want a full range, because basically links with target anchor text is what gets the needle moving in SEO. So you gain nothing by double counting the word Zetaclear, but you lose a lot. Don't do it. Next rule for URL optimization is try to get the frequently repeating single words from your top keywords into the slug. So what do I mean by that? We just take a look here. Okay, here's by search volume. They're all sorted right here. The single words are DIY, vitamin C, serum, homemade, recipe, how to make, etc. So we're going to look at these single words that are coming up most frequently or with the most search volume. Those are the ones that get the most priority. Now given this, our final URL that I would choose for Skin Starts with C would be DIY vitamin C serum, right? Why? So I didn't double count any words. I mean, we could argue that the letter C could be a word, but I think that's okay in this case. I got most of the main single words in here. Well, all the ones that I could fit. DIY, vitamin C, and serum. They're all right here in the URL. But again, I didn't want to double count any words, and I didn't want to make the slug too long. So unfortunately, the URL is pretty short, and this is what we have to deal with. But we've done our job, and we got the most important keyword in there, didn't we? So we got DIY, we got vitamin C, and we got serum. This main keyword is covered, and all derivations are partially covered. So like DIY vitamin C serum recipe has very good coverage because most of it is covered in this URL. Let's move on to SEO title tag optimization. Well, first off, what is it? The SEO title tag is usually filled out with Yoast or all-in-one SEO. When you look at the source code for your page, this comes out in the title brackets, like angled bracket title, and then ended with /title, angle brackets, in the HTML code. It comes out in the SERP result, so when you search on Google and you find your page, this is what labels the top of your result. So this is the SEO title tag. Here's how you optimize it. The rules are, again, try to get each single word in there, as many as you can fit. We have 64, 65, I think it's adjustable these days on how long your SEO title tag will fit there, but just aim for about 64 characters and try to get each single word in there. Keep the top phrases together and towards the front. What I mean by top phrases, okay, DIY vitamin C serum is clearly our top phrase. So we have incentive to keep that string together, this sequence of words, DIY vitamin C serum, together, don't break it up, and shift it towards the front of the SEO title tag. Next would be to write in English. So I know we sometimes try to rank for vitamin C serum DIY, but is that in English? No one would really say that in a real sentence, just like no one would ever say the words plumber Chicago in a sentence. Have you found a good plumber Chicago lately? That doesn't work. Write it in English. So if I really wanted to cover this keyword, I would just write DIY vitamin C serum, which would easily fit in a sentence, or plumber in Chicago, which would also easily fit in a sentence. And again, just like the URL, don't repeat words. Don't repeat words again. You're just going to reduce your margins on the offsite SEO. Lastly, like I mentioned before, keep it around 60, 64 characters, and leave the clickbait until later. What I mean by clickbait is a lot of people put in do not buy blank before you read this review, or updated 2017. I mean, that's great. This is great when you get to page 1 and you're trying to steal clicks off the home page or off the first page and get more traffic to your site. But right now, when you're trying to rank your site and it's on page 5 or 6, no one is really going to be compelled by what you write in the SEO title tag and click. It doesn't matter. No one's going to be clicking on your page anyways. So keep all the 60, 64 characters. This is very, very valuable keyword real estate. So keep it all open for keywords at this point in time, and we can switch it up later for the quick clickbait. So for this particular page, we went with the final SEO title tag of DIY vitamin C serum. How to make using a homemade recipe. Okay, so let's see how many keywords we had covered here. So DIY vitamin C serum, is this covered? Yeah, I got DIY here, vitamin C, and serum covered. And they're towards the front and they're kept together as a string. Great. Is the keyword homemade vitamin C serum covered? Yeah, homemade's here, vitamin C serum is here. Not in a string, but it's not my #1 keyword, so it doesn't really matter. How about this one, recipe? Recipe's here, vitamin C serum's here. Great. How to make? How to make vitamin C serum. We are good to go. Actually, the first top 4 keywords we are completely covering in this SEO title tag. It's not the fact that just we're covering these keywords, which is great. Here's a huge chunk of search volume that we're totally covering in our SEO title tag, but every single derivation, every single keyword that has the word how to and make and vitamin C serum, like this one, for example, how to make vitamin C serum 20, whatever that means, is almost completely covered because we have a lot of this keyword here in the SEO title tag. Page title. First off, what is the page title? We basically fill this out at the top of the WordPress edit page. So whenever you add a new page, this is the first field that you have to write something into the page edit. This gets translated into an H1 most of the time, depending on your theme. A bad theme will translate it into 2 H1s, or maybe even have multiple H1s, or maybe even put it as an H2 on the page. You don't want this, but we'll get into that later. Basically, the H1 represents the main topic of your page. So what is this page about? It's definitely about how to make vitamin C serum, DIY, make it at your home. So this is my main topic, and I want to fill in the blank accordingly.
All right, now how do we optimize our page title? How do we optimize that H1? Well, it's very easy. We use the same exact rules as we did for the SEO title tag. In fact, you should copy and paste the exact same thing you use for your SEO title and use it for the H1. Now, the reason I have don't crossed out is because we used to have a rule where you'd want to make your SEO title and your page title different. When you make them different, there's some advantages. You might be able to sweep up different keywords and give a different angle and get more coverage overall in your article. But unfortunately, in 2021, Google started rewriting title tags. And when they do that, very often they rewrite them terribly and they ruin your CTR from the SERP result. So the better thing to do is if you make your SEO title the same as the page title, your H1, then the likelihood of it getting rewritten is greatly diminished. So that's what we're doing from now on.
In closing, here's a summary. The three kings are huge, huge. I can't even begin to tell you how much role they play in on-site optimization. When I do a consultation, I see an issue with them, I expect a great result after the consultation, especially if you see someone doing something like double counting keywords or not having enough keywords, having a very short page title or maybe a 3-word SEO title tag. It's just such a waste of real estate. And you know, when you get those keywords and you maximize the placement you have of these keywords in the three kings, all this traffic comes in from these long tail derivations of it. And as you remember, traffic is the fuel to the engine, right? So if I'm auditing a site for purchase, like I'm checking out the marketplaces and they have issues like this is a huge motivator for me to buy the site, because I know I can get a very, very fast turnaround on the site that I purchased and make my money back real quick. So here's what results look like. This is an example of my friend Mark that I did a consultation with, and he had an issue with his three kings. And all we did, he came back a little time later and he showed me his ranking graph. And this is very, very typical for having good three king optimization.